Hello and welcome to the series of bank reconciliation statement. Today we are going to go into case 4. What is case 4? Case 4 is basically where when we are starting with an unfavorable passbook balance. Okay. So an unfavorable passbook balance would be a debit balance. So when the starting balance is unfavorable as per the passbook. Now there is nothing much different in terms of computation. Only in this case, instead of starting with the cash book balance, we are starting with the passbook balance. And instead of placing the balance in the plus column, now since it's unfavorable, we'll be placing it in the minus column. So let's take a look as we solve this question. Following information has been given by Rajendra. Prepare bank reconciliation statement on 31st December 2014 showing the balance as per cash book. Okay, they want us to start with the passbook and end up with the cash book balance. Debit balance shown by the passbook is bank statement is 17,800. Okay. So let me write that down. Balance as per passbook debit. So a debit passbook balance is an unfavorable balance, and I'm going to write this in my minus column 17,800. Checks of rupees 21,600 were issued in the last week of December, but only checks of 14,000 were presented for payment. Okay. Okay, so what this means is that checks worth rupees 21,800 were issued, but checks worth only 14,800 were presented. So that means there is a balance. What is the difference between the two? 21,600 minus 14,800 is 6,800. Okay. Checks. So that means that checks worth 6,800 were issued, but they have not yet been presented to the bank. So that means my cash book balance is lesser than my passbook balance by 6,800. Or my passbook balance is more 6,800 as per my cash book balance. What will I do to equalize it? I will deduct that balance 6,800 from my passbook balance. So let's write that down. Less checks issued but not yet presented. 6,800. Okay, let's see the next one. Checks of 10,750 were presented to the bank. Out of them, a check of 4,200 was credited in the first week of January. Okay, so in our books, we have recorded that we have received 10,750 completely. But a check of 4,200, so that means about balance of only 6,000 rupees have actually been credited in the bank, not entire 10,000. This remaining 4,200 was credited in the first week of January, not within our period. So what does that mean? Up till 31st Jan 2014, our cash book balance is more than our passbook balance. Okay, our cash book balance is more than our passbook balance. So, and if I want to equalize it, I will have to add to my passbook balance the amount of 4,200. That is the difference. So, see, checks worth rupees 10,000 were presented to the bank. In the cash book, we have recorded that we have immediately received entire 10,000. But checks worth 4,000 were credited in our bank account only after January. So up till 31st Jan, there is a discrepancy, right? Our passbook balance is lesser than our cash book balance by 4,200. And if I want to equalize the two, I will have to add back this 4,200 to my passbook balance. And that's what I will do. Add Checks deposited not yet credited. $4,200. A check of rupees 1200 was debited in the cash book but was not presented in the bank. Okay. So what this means is a check of 1200 debited in the cash book. Debit in a cash book means an income, okay? If our cash book was credited, then I would consider it an expense. But no, they have mentioned that this check of 1200 was debited. That means in our checkbook we have recorded a receipt of 1200 rupees. But this check was not yet presented in the bank, so that 1200 didn't get credited in our bank account. So similar to the last transaction, our cash book balance is more than our passbook balance. And if I want to equalize the two, then I'll have to add. So check not yet presented in bank, 1200, yeah, 1200. Let's see our next one. As per instruction, the bank on 28 December paid out 1450 to a creditor, but by mistake, the same has not been entered in the cash book. Okay, so this transaction has not yet been recorded in our cash book. That means our passbook balance is lesser than our cash book balance. And if I want to equalize the two, again I'll have to add back this 1450. See, this expense has been recorded in my passbook, but it has not been recorded in my cash book. And we are coming to the cash book from the passbook. So all our transactions we will see from adjustments we'll make from POV of our passbook. Now our passbook is less by 1450 compared to our cash book. And if I want to equalize the two, then I'll have to add. So expense payment to creditor not recorded in cash book, 1450. A bill of exchange of rupees 6200 which was discounted with the bank was returned dishonored, but no entry was made in the cash book. Okay. So this bill of exchange which was discounted with our bank has been returned dishonored. That means 6200 has been deducted from the account holder's account. But similar transaction has not been recorded in our cash book. So by this logic, our cash book balance is more than our passbook balance. And if I want to equalize the two, then again I'll have to add to my passbook. Bill of exchange dishonored, not recorded in cash book. 6200. Bank charges and interest charged by the bank are rupees 350. So this has not been recorded in my cash book. Again, my cash book balance is more to the extent of 350 than my passbook. And if I want to equalize, then I'll have to add. Bank charges and interest not recorded in cash book, rupees 350. Now let me find out my balance as per cash book. We've recorded all our transactions. I'm not going to write whether it's a favorable or unfavorable balance until we compute the full thing. Now it's calculation time. So minus 17,800 minus 6,800 plus 4,200 plus 1,200 plus 1,450 plus 6,200 plus 350 gives me a balance of credit cash balance 11,200. Since it's unfavorable, I'm writing it in my minus column. Or you can also write it over here 11,200. Then compute the totals. Compute the totals, which comes up to 24,600, 24,600. You can do either. So this was our first problem in case 4 type of questions. If you have any doubts, please feel free to reach out to me in the comments, and see you in the next video.